Hello. Okay. Bun is a hello, hello. I am here. Let's see who all comes in. And when you get in, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me see. Let me start pulling up my chat on my other phone. Hello, whoever is coming on. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I got my mic on. BurbNBougie. Whoever is on and looking, go ahead and drop a word in the chat and let me know how you're doing. Hi, S. Smith. Can you hear me okay? I am just testing this mic to make sure that it is okay. Hearing you fine. All right, cool. Nzinga can hear me good. Okay, cool. Where are your pearls? Man, yeah, I don't have pearls on today, and I don't even have any extra pearls in my purse because I changed out purses. So I have no pearls. Okay, I got my extra phone just in case I need to have an extra phone. You never know how things go with these live feeds. So today, I wonder how many eyeballs we'll have on this live chat. First of all, my co-author of our book is in the chat today. Nzinga, the co-author and the editor of our book, Ashy Men, would why are we going live at midnight? Do I have it set for midnight? I didn't know I had it set for midnight. I'm not going live at midnight. I'm going live right now. If it's set live for midnight right now, that is incorrect. I'm no good at nighttime like that. So I was just saying, I have Nzinga in the chat right now. Nzinga, oh shucks. I'm sorry. I didn't know that it was set for midnight. Certainly, yeah, that was definitely a mistake. So, Nzinga is the co-author of our book, Ashy Men Will Make You Fat. It is available at BurbNBougieShop.com. Our book, I have put quite a few promos in, on my pages, and I have worked in commercials within the videos. So hopefully you guys have seen it. We have definitely sent out quite a few books so far, and we are about to start hammering out our next book, which is going to be a compilation of auntie advice and nuggets of wisdom. Is actually going to be called Golden Nuggets. Um, so that's going to be, you guys are going to start seeing some promos for that soon now that we have gotten all of our current orders out and just pushing through that. Okay, so today, you guys, today I wanted to talk about health and wellness. And my book is already about, oh, okay, hold on. Nzinga put the full title: Anthology Uploads, Golden Nuggets, Cautionary Tales, and Wisdom When Women Folks Speak. It's called Golden Nuggets, Cautionary Tales, and Wisdom When Women Folks Speak. Um, we are saying we're calling this Golden Nuggets because the whole point is to make sure that, oh shucks, these people are loud. The whole point is to make sure that people learn from our mistakes. That way, folks do not have to make the same mistakes as us. So that is the reason why we're giving these nuggets of wisdom and we're including cautionary tales. We are speaking because we have a platform. We have folks. We're creating community. So this is our community, and those of us that are entering our auntie stages want to take the reins and make sure that we are helping out where we can. And so that is also the reason for Ashy Men Will Make You Fat. I know the title could be jarring, but it's about health and wellness overall. It's about making sure that we have balance as far as physical, mental, emotional, financial, sexual, all that health is in balance. And it is a dang on shame that I set the time for midnight. That was my bad, y'all. But I would probably have more people on here. But regardless, hey, how y'all doing? If you guys have any questions for me in the chat, go ahead and drop the comments, questions, whatever in the chat, and go ahead and hit like. Go ahead and like the broadcast. Maybe we'll get it pushed out to more people. But I am coming here because I last week when I was in my bar class, y'all know that I like to go live at the gym. I'm currently at the gym right now. So if you hear people laughing, talking, whatever, it's because we're at the gym. But last week when I was at the gym, um, the teacher in my bar class mentioned that there was a docu series out that was called Live to 100, and it seemed interesting from what she said, and so I checked it out, and it is a really, really good. It's a really good book. I mean, not book, a really good series, and definitely worth checking out. I'm wanting to talk about that because it just reinforces that we need to focus on our community as women. We need to focus on reducing stress. We need to focus on eating sensibly, eating whole foods. And I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about what I saw. So, we hear consistently that, we're going to die alone, and they speak so negatively about women getting older. And it's just counterintuitive to how I live because I've already been creating community. We are creating community here on social media. And I think that it is expanding from social media to our everyday lives. And one of the things that I saw in this series was you grow older with the people around you. And the first set of people, they were older, and they had their friends, they had their families, and even the women that were single without kids still were living to be 100. So the whole point of right now, for the people that just are coming on, I'm talking about growing older and how we're going to do that. We're growing older, and I want to do so in a way that is healthy, and getting together with your community, um, getting together with your community, pouring into your friends, consistently pouring into your children is so important because even if we are married, which I'm a married woman, even if we are married and we're being real with things, women tend to outlive their husbands anyway. So if you have not created community, if you haven't poured into your relationships, if you're consistently dropping your friends simply because you got a man, you're going to be SOL. You're going to be out of luck later on because you are missing out on that girl group. And if you don't pour into your children, there has been plenty of times where we are talking about children who are not going to take care of their parents because they weren't taken care of as children. So you have got to be pouring into those people too. The men's should not be the center of your existence. There needs to be some balance. And like I said, I'm coming back to the fact that I created a book called Ashy Men Will Make You Fat. And relationships are important, but it has to be within some kind of balance as far as a healthy life goes. Because if you're too out of whack, you're too male focused, it will throw everything else out of whack. Now, something that the man who is the host of this series called Live to 100 was 61 or is 61 years old. So he was still young compared to these people that were living to be 100. And it was very, very interesting how lively these people were. They still had their mental faculties about themselves. They were still moving. That was the important thing, is that they were still moving. A lot of these people were not like jumping up and going to the gym. There was one set of people that had created a gym community. They were the 7 day Adventist people. But the first two people, the first sets of folks, were just moving. They were walking a lot. They were gardening. They were, still cooking, still active, and not just cooking. They were like cooking from scratch. So, one of the foods, and I need to go get me some of this. The first setup, the first community was like an Asian community. I can't remember which Asian country it was, but they have something called blue zones. You guys can Google that, blue zones, where it's like a high concentration of people that are living to 100. And in this first blue zone, they had purple sweet potatoes, and purple sweet potatoes was a big part of their diet. Have y'all heard of purple sweet potatoes? If you see purple sweet potatoes where you are, go ahead and grab some. So that's going to be what I go off and look for, some purple sweet potatoes. They eat these. They're supposed to be very, very nutrient dense. And these first set of people, what they had going on in their lives, they were active, they were gardening, they were hanging out with friends. This one of the families, this woman was surrounded by her family, and she had like her kids were old because she was old. She's like 100. She was like 100 years old. So imagine that her kids had to be, 67. I don't know how old her kids were. She had grandkids there, and they were playing games. They were laughing. And she said that keeping stress down, staying happy, being positive was how that was her keys to life. And something they also said in this first one was they had a word for it, but it's basically their mission statement. They wake up daily having a mission statement. Like, they had women that were sewing clothes for other people. There was a man who was making weapons. He was old, y'all. He was old and still doing one of those yogi, meditation, how they cross their legs. He was still able to do that. These people were still able to do activities of daily living. And what activities of daily living is basically, going to the bathroom by themselves, getting dressed by themselves, getting their food, their groceries, and all of that by themselves. That's what activities of daily living are. And another thing that these people had, they didn't have very much furniture. They had like a pad where they sat on the floor. So they were constantly getting up and sitting down, getting up and sitting down. That is squatting. That is squatting and standing several times a day. And so I just wanted to talk to you guys. If you haven't seen this series and you have Netflix, go ahead and watch it, because I want to keep expanding on talking about healthy lifestyles. One of the things that the host was saying is that here in the United States, the way life is set up is conducive to having terrible health. Basically, we have everything from the time that we wake up. We wake up, we're sitting at a computer, we're sitting in front of a TV, we're sitting at a desk at work. We don't have to really walk anywhere. We have cars that take us everywhere. And so we are a very, very sedentary people, and the food proportions are terrible. We get everything convenienced for us, so we don't have to work at anything. And so when you do want to have a healthy lifestyle, you have to really put some thought into, the things that you're eating. You have to put thought into taking the extra steps, squatting, not sitting in front of screens all day. And all of us do this. I can say that I'm consistently in front of a screen too, especially as a content creator. So, if you guys want to drop some things in the chat on what you guys are doing, um, there are so many reasons why I want us to tackle these topics. Yoga. Okay, and Zinga. And Zinga, I have done yoga every single day. I've done yoga every single day, starting back in what month are we in? We're in September. In August, I started doing yoga every day because I had gotten out of it. And y'all, if you guys do not know the benefits of yoga, it is not something that's just, to make you zen and quiet everything down. No. Yoga is work. Yoga is meditation in motion. And you create this mind body connection, this breath. You're breathing life into certain things. And even if I couldn't get a full workout in, I was doing at least 10 minutes of yoga. When you do things and you create a habit for yourself, it works out so well. And that was the month that I did yoga every single day. I had the best content creation month for myself. I don't know if it was the yoga, but because of that, I was like, I'm not skipping any days in September either. I'm doing yoga every single day in September as well, because you're working your core, you're working your breath, you're centering yourself. And, yoga is just amazing. Let's see. Why does good food have to taste so nasty? You have to retrain your taste buds. You really do. You have to learn how to season it up with all of your garlic, onion, all your seasonings. You just got to do all that. Um, I have been boxing for the last 3 months. Yes, it feels great to move your body. It feels good to be engaged. And boxing, we have got to be for real. We've got to be for real. At this particular point, last week, I think I was a little about it when I came on live because of the whole brick situation. And I wanted to turn the page a little bit, but still bring it back to the fact that we have got to be for real about the situation. We've got to learn self-defense. We've got to learn how to keep our reflexes on and our heads on a swivel. We have got to learn all of that. We've got to start sprinting. We've got to work our fast twitch muscles to get away from threats. We want to live a long, healthy life. But some of that long, healthy life means that we have got to recognize that sometimes we're getting fit so that we can get away from threats. So I want us to think about that. Here in America, as Black women, we're, if we were able to grow old simply, just by our actions of eating and drinking well and, that kind of thing, it would be cool. But we got to be honest with ourselves and acknowledge that there are actual other threats to reasons why we're not living happy, healthy lives. And just seeing these people that were living to be 100, they're not having to think about things like we're thinking about over here. They're secluded. They're not having predators come at them simply because they're women. Let's see. So Jessica went for a dance workout, dance and a walk. Yes. Let's see what else we got going on in here. I parked my car a distance from the front. So, and something that I like to do with my whole step situation, I have a Samsung fitness watch. I know people use their Apple watches. Um, Even before I could afford to get this Samsung watch, I was using a $25 fitness watch from Amazon. They have fitness watches that track your steps, your heart rate. This is so important because understanding where your heart rate is when you are resting and when you are working out is so important, because when you are not particularly fit and you're working to get fit, When you first start working out, it is stressing your heart, it's stressing your cardiovascular system. But as you get fitter and fitter, the time that it takes for your heart rate to come back down, it it improves. It decreases in the amount of time that it takes your heart rate to come back down. And so, tracking your heart rate is so clutch. And this is a way to understand, like, if you're having a cardiac situation where you actually need to go go to the hospital. Thank you, NY to San Francisco. Thank you for the $10, and thank you for the nice and kind words. So this this person just says, yeah, trauma can sometimes lead to unhealthy behaviors that cut our lives short, especially overeating and drug use. And I do address trauma. Sometimes things are a trauma response. And if we lived in a community that was just, we're out here thriving, and we could just live and we could just exercise and we could be a community and we could just be chit chatting with each other. If we had that, then we wouldn't be worried. I mean, we wouldn't have so many autoimmune diseases. We wouldn't have so many cancers. Some of the diseases that we have are because of stress. There is no reason why we should be in a constant state of flight, flight, fight, flight, or freeze, because that impacts us. That causes adrenal burnout. That causes, if you are stressed out, your muscles tighten up. You don't want to do the things that you need to do to better yourself. Like, you might be using coping mechanisms like drugs, alcohol, reckless sex, overspending, so reckless with your money. You might push people away, so you might damage your relationships. And so we are not in a place within the Black community where we are just able to live and thrive. And so I wish we didn't have to talk about this, but yes, absolutely. Trauma responses are the reason why so many people are unhealthy in many different aspects. And so we got to have these challenging conversations. We got to have these challenging conversations. And sometimes when you talk about things like weight, fitness, eating well, the foods that we choose, sometimes people automatically get defensive and don't want to talk about it. I have gotten accused of being elitist, fat phobic. I get words thrown at me all the time when I am genuinely wanting us to be able to live, get old, and grow old, in a healthy manner where we're not relying on drugs and other people to take care of us. Because if you look at how we are aging here in the United States, you have seen so many people that are just dropping dead in their 50s. And that is not particularly old. There should, like, the fact that I'm 42 and people are like, oh my gosh, you look so young. Because 42 is not old. 42 is not old at all. If we had proper diet, exercise, just movement, we could live easily into our 80s. But we're in survival mode, and people use different things for coping mechanisms, and it's tearing us up from the inside out. Okay, so Jessica just says, oh, and thanks for the Peloton app plug. I didn't know anyone can use it. I love it so far. I am going to plug y'all with my Peloton app. Again, I use my Peloton app, even though I'm at the gym right now. I use my Peloton app daily. I use it for yoga, and they have the Peloton app. You do not need to have Peloton gear. You don't need to have Peloton equipment in order to use the app. They have things where you can use your body weight, like yoga, Pilates, bar, HIIT classes, cardio dance. They got things where you could just work out with your body. You can work your core. They have things where you could just use weights. They have where you could just use a treadmill. You don't have to have their treadmill. You can use you can use your own treadmill. You can go outside and walk. They have guided runs and walks for outside. So I got to remember to post my Peloton app link where you can get 2 free months. And even when you do start paying, if you choose to start paying, it's like $15 a month. But the important thing about Peloton, the great thing about Peloton is that they have different levels. They have beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. You can take classes that are 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long. They have meditation. So they have for $15, you can pay this $15. This $15 is clutch because they have a variety of trainers. They have the trainers that have a variety of music. They have a guy that has like one arm. One of the rower people is a plus size woman. They've had women that have been exercising and training throughout their pregnancy. So it's very inclusive and doable. Let's see. So I'll make sure to plug that. Let's see. Poverty is one thing, but the violence is totally unnecessary and causes us so much damage. Yes. The violence that we are seeing, it's you know, it, it it's kind of sad that we have to consider this so much, but it's our reality. It's our current reality. And to ignore it is to put our children at risk. It puts ourselves at risk. So when I am exercising, um, you know, I know that this is silly, but when I have been exercising, I would do things like, what if I ever fell into a hole? Can I pull myself up out of the hole? Like if there, I act like I think about things like if I needed to carry my children for a few blocks because the car broke down, could I do it? I want to be able to use the bathroom by myself as long as possible. Can I do it? So when I'm exercising currently, I'm not exercising because I need to make sure that I have a very flat stomach. I'm not exercising so that I can wear a crop top. I'm exercising to make sure that I am able to live and move and do all of the things that I need to do for life. One time I was at the park and my daughter hurt herself, and I had to pick her up and walk her to the car. It's important to be able to carry your children, so that's how I think about training. Um, Love and Light says, sorry if you've already answered it, but how is my IF lifestyle going? Are you planning on doing it long term? So I am doing IF, and IF, for the people that don't know, stands for intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting because it's basically just eating within a window, and you choose, so it's extra flexible. I have done I've done several different ways of eating, and this is by far the best way for me, because like I can still eat what my family is eating. Like literally, I don't even think my husband really knows that I'm doing intermittent fasting because I'm just not really eating breakfast. So I'm only doing 16/8 so far. So 16/8 means that I am fasting for 16 hours and I have an 8-hour eating window. And what this does, it makes you more mindful of how you're eating. It's helped me cut down on sugar. It's helped me like plan food a little bit better. I carry, if I know that I like on Saturdays, I have the kids have swim lessons. So because I know that the kids have swim lessons at a certain time, I make sure to take my salad with me and a piece of fruit or something like that so that I can have my first meal during their swim lesson. Um, like instead of it also makes me more aware of spending money on food out. It helps me cut down on the sugar intake. So intermittent fasting works for me, and it is easy to do it long term. It's helping me. I don't need to lose a lot of weight. My weight is fine for me. And I don't focus so much on weight, but I do like to stay within a certain range because I want to wear the clothes that I have without having to buy a bunch of clothes, except for when I need them. So, okay, so yes, I plan on doing the intermittent fasting for a while because my body tends to like it and it's easy for me. Let's see. 70% of the peace I'm able to tune into daily is directly related to greenery and no crime environment I live in. Yes. I wish that I had a green thumb and could keep plants alive, but I'm gonna tackle it again. I'm gonna I'm gonna work on, getting some more plants and flowers in my home because it is nice. And even my fake flowers still bring a bright spot to our home. Um, yes, I have 51 sets of eyeballs on the live right now. If you guys could go ahead and hit like, that would be amazing. Um, so what else? Worry about function and not for a six pack. You're working out for life events. Exactly. You know, as long as you're moving, the people, like I said in the beginning, the people that were living to be 100, they weren't living to be 100 and the strongest, and they weren't concerned about wearing a crop top at 100. They weren't. When you start to get old, you're happy to be alive. You're still available as a resource to your children and your grandchildren, and that's important. um Thinking that you're going to wear a two-piece swimsuit and you're like 97, like, who cares? You be happy just to be able to go swimming and be able to be around your family. So you work on functionality. Are your shoulders, are you able to move your shoulders? Do your knees move well? Are you keeping your weight at a reasonable weight, so that your knees and your hips do function into your 90s and up to 100. So there is a reason to keep your weight manageable for yourself, because you do want your hips and your knees to be functioning, because you wear those out, then it could really impact your quality of life. But that's not to say that you can't have some of this midsection. This is just extra fuel, just in case that the zombie apocalypse does come and I don't have food for a while and I have to live off of this spare tire right there. Let's see. Okay, so Hope Joy is doing OMAD. Okay, if you guys do not know what OMAD stands for, that stands for 1 meal a day if you are doing intermittent fasting. So some people do eat 1 meal a day and they eat enough calories that will sustain them for the rest of the day. Um, so I do still have a few people on here that is doing intermittent fasting. Yes, 16/8 as far as intermittent fasting is so easy. And even if I were to switch it over to 18/6, that's a reasonable time frame as well. If you do need to lose a few extra pounds and you need to do it quickly, I think that if I were to go to 18/6, I would lose that 5 pounds that's just sticking on to me. I would lose it. But like I said, I'm not super duper concerned about that 5 pounds. The weight will come off if you just keep moving, keep being mindful about the time frames that you're eating and that kind of thing. The weight eventually will come off. But the important thing, especially as we get older, I don't know how old y'all are on the feed, but as we get older, our muscle mass decreases. Our muscle mass decreases. So strength training is super duper important. And here in America, we do not get enough nutrients. So balance is so important, to you working on balance with yoga, that Nzinga really brought up. Yoga is so important because it helps with stability. And I bring that up because as we age, if we fall and we haven't strengthened our muscles, we haven't strengthened our bones, that's how a lot of older people die younger than they should have because of these falls. So it's important to work on the functionality of your body. Are all of your muscles and joints moving the way that they need to move? Do you have full ranges of motion for all of your muscles? If you don't, you might need to concentrate on things like getting massages, um, getting, if you can't stretch yourself, you need to be, maybe you need help getting into stretches. Maybe you need things like a yoga strap to help you get into certain stretches to help move things around. There are things that you do. So when I am structuring my workout. My workout on a weekly basis will include yoga. I told y'all I've been doing yoga daily. I had the best content creation month back in August, and I'm attributing it to my daily yoga. So I do my yoga daily. That helps with strengthening my upper body with all of these poses. It strengthens my core. It's functional. It helps you with lengthening your muscles. It helps with balance. So yoga just is overall amazing. So I have yoga in my schedule each week. I have strength training. I have cardio training included, and I've been doing a bar class at the gym. If you do not have bar class where you are, if you use the Peloton app, which, like I said, I will drop a link where you can get it for 2 months free, that those bar classes get into these hip muscles that you didn't even know existed, these butt muscles that you didn't even know existed. It hits the small muscles that you might not know, but it's so important to hit the hip muscles that you might not even know, because these small muscles are your support muscles. Like, you need to be doing things like stretching out your feet. People might not know your feet are so important because they are the foundation of your everyday life. You walk, well, you should be walking. And if you have the wrong shoes, if your shoes aren't supportive, that could really, having bad feet can impact your knees. Having bad knees can impact your hips. Having bad hips can impact your back. So all of this is important to remain balanced. So New Dawn says she's focusing on staying a size 6. I'm focused on staying a size 8. I'm a size 8. I look good. I feel good at a size 8, and I just want to wear my size 8s. What else we got going on? Oh, look at that. So Jessica just says ADF stands for alternative day fasting. So you're fasting every other day, basically. Um, so and Zinga says start with pathos. I don't know what that is. You'll have to tell me what pathos is. I'm sure that has something to do with the plants. Okay, and Zinga says she got to run. Okay, cool. She has a sister circle. Okay, so Nzinga had to run because she has a sister circle. And I'm doing a virtual sister circle. I like to go live on Tuesdays, even though I made a mistake and set the time for this live at midnight. I appreciate the fact that you guys are still here. But this is what we need. We need a community where we keep coming together, keep encouraging one another in a positive way, and like holding ourselves accountable. Anger, one of the last times I went live, I was angry, I was upset. And I do understand that there is a time and a place for anger, but anger, if you just sit in anger, it can impact you. But anger is a good tool because it will lead to action. And my action is being here with y'all so that, we form this community where we are focused on being healthy. We're focused on supporting each other and encouraging each other, giving tips that will help each other. So that is what I am doing with my platforms. I don't want to just get on here and just be all the time. I don't want to do all that. I want to take whatever we have going on, talk about it, and then say, what's next? Let's see. What do you think of water fasting a couple of times a week? Would that be too extreme for a beginner? There's some people who only eat every other day. Would that mess up my metabolism if I tried it? So, love and light, I am going to say this. That would be something that you would want to consult your doctor with. I I don't do water fasting. That's not for me. But I am not it's not my place to like push any kind of like you choose your adventure where it comes to fasting, and you need to choose it with somebody who knows you, knows your vitals, knows your health and wellness foundation. um let's see, it's hard to so Celeste says esteroids and glyphosate lock up in fat, especially in black folks, very hard. Purge that herbs help. What kind of herbs are helping to purge that stuff? Go ahead and drop that in the chat. What kind of herbs should we be looking into? Um, so So New Dawn says 58, recently retired fitness instructor for 22 plus years. I've had 2 hip replacements and I'm still in great shape. So you are 58 and you were 22 years in the game. That's amazing. Um, did was being in the fitness community, did that was that the reason for the hip replacements, or what happened with that? I am glad that you are still able to be in great shape and still moving. That is amazing. Foam rolling, yes. I you know what people have to do, foam rolling is very, very important, and I've done it a couple of times on video, but I should talk about that a little bit more. That foam roller, woo, if you are not used to foam rolling, our bodies have these knots in our bodies. You can touch your calf muscle and just kind of rub up your calf muscle, and you might run into like a knot in there. And those knots are like balls of tension. And you have to either get massages or you have to put it on that foam roller to release some of that, because what ends up happening is if you have tightness in your body and it's just holding on like that, that can create imbalances in the rest of your body. So if you don't release some of that tension, like in your calves, and then your body is out of whack, your body is out of balance, it could create a situation where one side of your body um, has to overcompensate. And then when it starts to overcompensate, that's when you start to have issues with your knee. You start to have issues with your hip. You start to have issues with your back. So, getting massages that's not a luxury. It is necessary, especially if you are really active. You need that release. And that is where, when you have moved out of survival mode and you can actually take some time and focus on what your body really, really needs, then you can, okay, that's when you start to feel the imbalances. Like sometimes if you've been eating clean for a while and then you turn around and you eat something that's not so good for you, your body feels it. So it's the important thing is to get to a place where your body is balanced so that you can feel what the imbalances feel like. And then you know what you need to work on, like switching out your shoes. You got to switch out your shoes when they start to wear out, because like I said, your feet are your foundation. So you can't just be wearing the same shoes for 5 years. I literally have several pairs of shoes and you got to throw them away. You have to replace them. What else are we talking about in this chat? So New Dawn says she works out her anger on the squat rack. Get it. Whatever you need to do, if boxing is your thing, if meditation is your thing, if yoga is your thing, if sprinting is your thing, you need to be able to take that righteous anger and then just work it out, whatever you need to do. Um, Thank you, T. Newman, for supporting the content. So New Dawn says, yep, many years of working out. After I had each of my hip replacements, I rehabbed and went back to work. amazing. And so that's something that's really, really important. Some people are not particularly healthy. They're not particularly fit. And then when something like a some kind of health incident happens and you're not particularly healthy, it takes longer to recover. Like if you were in a car accident and you're healthy, your recovery time is a lot less. If you fall down and hurt yourself and you're healthy, your recovery time is a lot less. But if you're not particularly healthy and your body has to draw on all kind of nutrients that it does not have, it takes longer for your body to actually recover. So getting healthy is kind of like it is putting in the health bank. When people talk about your health is your wealth, that is so true. Your health is your wealth. You are depositing coins each time you get to the gym, each time you get on your mat, each time you go outside for a walk. You are not going for a walk today to lose 5 pounds tomorrow. You're going for a walk today to improve your heart health. You're going for a walk today to improve how long it takes for your heart rate to come down. If you started walking and your heart rate shot up, you need to be able to center yourself quickly. You're doing core work today, so where if you get a back injury, you have a strong back and it doesn't take as long to recover. So you're doing things today that will help you like 10 years from now. Let's see. Um, so in NY to SF says, and each time you tell your tell energy, suck relationships, sorry, no. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying there. But yes, balancing your energy is important. Sometimes relationships do suck your energy. And we should talk about relationships and balance and all of that kind of good stuff. So, boundaries are definitely important, and boundaries are important for any kind of healthy lifestyle, right? So if you know that you go to a class at 5:30, like I no I'm sorry, my bar class is at Tuesday at 5:45. That is my class. So if somebody wants to have me and do something for them during that time, I have to have the boundary to say no, I'm not available at that time. Sometimes you have to be able to say no to somebody else so you can say yes to yourself, because that is your time. And you have to protect your time. You have to protect your time, energy, and resources, and only give that time, energy, and resources where you uh, have extra. You don't just give your time, energy, and resources simply because somebody asked. Good sleep. Yes. Good sleep. Hygiene is important. Going to the dentist. Are you going to the dentist twice a year? I have my dentist appointment set up for next week. Are you flossing? Are you moisturizing? Are you drinking enough water? I carry water bottles. I drink water throughout the day. I like these insulated bottles. I drink. You carry those around, and the water stays cold even if you leave the water bottle in the car. Let's see. I recently stopped sleeping with my cell phone next to me, watching videos, and I'm sleeping so much better. Okay. Um, Sleep. Before we moved in the apartment that we were in, we used to have a TV in our bedroom. When we moved to our new place, we couldn't put a big dresser. So no big dresser means that we didn't have a TV, and it's pitch black. Having a black room, a really dark room when you go to sleep, is clutch. It's helped me immensely. Um, oh, someone says flossing adds 5 years to your lifespan. Cool. That is amazing. Um, So I like going live on Tuesdays. Like I was saying, I made a mistake apparently and set up this live for midnight, but I usually like going live on Tuesdays because my kids are in the childcare, and I can talk without worrying about them coming in and saying mom like 15 to 20 times. So this is a good time if you guys have any questions, you guys want to leave a talk on a particular subject or whatever. I used to also have my book clubs on Tuesdays. I'm not doing book club right now because it is just a bit too much work. So that's why I'm going live instead. Island Girl says she can't go to sleep right away in dark silence. It takes a little bit. Everything takes a habit of building it up. I don't think that I was completely comfortable at first, but if you're not comfortable at first, you can put on some meditation sounds, sleep meditation, white noise, jazz. Um, so for a little while, I was putting my kids to sleep with a jazz station on YouTube. There are ways around that. Um, so I am probably about to get off here in just a little bit. I got to get the kiddos. Typically, my lives are like an hour long. I know that some people can stay on their lives for like a couple of hours, but the whole point of today was just talking health, fitness, moving out of survival mode, move into thriving, um, taking any kind of anger and putting it to use in a productive way. Um, Hopefully, you guys have gotten something out of this. If you have not hit like, go ahead and do that. If you are a watcher of my videos and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do that. Like I said, for some of the people that are just now coming on, I am going to drop my Peloton app code just in case you've never done Peloton. You can get 60 days for free. And I've already said this, even if you do end up paying for it, it's $15 a month and it's totally worth it. I'm saying that as somebody who goes to the gym on a weekly basis, several times a week. I still use my Peloton app daily. I use my Peloton app for yoga, stretching, core work, ideas for, I mean, there's all kind of reasons to use Peloton. I don't get paid from this. I just push it because I just want us to be healthy. I want us to be ready. I want us to be, grow old and be able to do things as older folks. And too many of us are not getting to our 60s in a healthy way. We're getting to 60 and we're on meds and we're doing things that we're looking old. Too many of us are looking old at younger ages, and I don't want that for us. Let's see. New Don says some of us pay more for the Peloton app than they do for coffee. Yes, and you can start doing stuff like making your coffee at home. I drink my coffee at home. I used to buy coffee out, but I am good for buying stuff to do at home. Because for the longest time, we're working on a budget where, you still try to get the things in that you want, but you just got to do it at home. And there's some good coffee machines where everything has to be kind of an investment, the initial investment, your coffee machines or your coffee. You want some fancy coffee? Cool. Create a coffee bar at home. Let's see. Please watch. Please watch my George series. George goes. No, George gets a home health aide. He's struggling, and I don't want us to struggle. So Nudon said, you did Starbucks years ago. I used to be a Starbucks person. I did get a French press for a little bit. I got a stovetop coffee pot for a little bit. Now I just use this single serve coffee pot. I'm pretty much the only one that drinks coffee in my house. My husband drinks it periodically, but I'm pretty much the only one. Um, anything else y'all want to talk about? Drop it in the chat. I got a couple minutes, and then I got to go get these kids out of the child care area. Um, if you guys haven't hit like, go ahead and do that. Y'all know y'all know that I will be back in the morning dropping all of the content. Um, I stay backed up with all of the support. I appreciate you guys' support, sending me things, tagging me in things that I need to check out. I definitely see that. I get a little bit busy because I get tagged so much, and I do still have to pay attention to the kiddos every now and then. Let's see. Well, it looks like I have kind of caught up with the chat. Um, so I think I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, so user wants to know if I only go live on Tuesdays. I go live on Tuesday, and then I do sometimes go live on Saturdays. I've been going live on Saturdays. This past Sunday, I went live with Jules, and that was a really good live. But I have been bringing ladies on my page and going live with other content creators, so that has been cool. I'll probably be going live on this Saturday. I'll be going live on this Saturday at 9 a.m. When I go live on the weekends, um, is typically at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, the live is still up with Jules. The live is still up. I'll place that in the community again. It was an amazing conversation. Me and Jules were sitting up here talking like we have been knowing each other for years. So go ahead and check out that conversation with Jules. Um, let's see. Let's see. Um, I guess that's about it. MP. Thank you for staying subscribed to me. I know that I am not always going to have opinions that folks, are in alignment with. And the important thing is not for us to always have the same opinions, not to have the same belief system, but to, still have the same focus. We're a women focused page. We want people to be happy and healthy and whole. So as long as we come back to that, we can work through the rest of our opinions. Let's see. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this so I can go get the kiddos out of the childcare area. Thank you guys for staying on this live for this long. Check out the live with Jewel from last week, and I will see you guys tomorrow.